Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another weekly forecast. Before we get started, let's quickly speak about the free setup I ended up sending on Friday, which was an absolute fantastic buy. We ended up catching 6% on that trade on the VIP, and in total catching a decent 13.6%, which is absolutely great. VIP, I know I had quite a few questions about that. I may look to open it possibly next week, so yeah, stay tuned for that, guys. But without further ado, let's sort of get into this buy setup. And the main thing I wanted to mention was have a look at why I targeted 65 on the daily time frame. This was the message I put after the take profit was hit. I hope you guys went back into your charts and had a look at why I was looking to target 65, because I know I seen an image that there were many people that were selling on the way up here, and there was clear analysis on why you should not have, and I'm going to sort of walk you through that. On a sort of higher time frame basis, VIPs will get a more of a skewed in sort of 5-minute, 15-minute on how I looked for my entry and why I did, but the higher time frame should be very evident to a lot of you guys in terms of where liquidity is sitting in the market and why price usually targets those levels of liquidity. So if we start off with the daily time frame here, I'm just going to quickly run through this for you guys before we get into the next week's forecast. On the daily time frame, I was watching this key level. As price dropped below 2000, I was expecting to see price flip into a bullish sort of structure and to then target the next level of liquidity. If we move this line, and obviously that's our prior high, we clear that. After this level here, where is our next level of liquidity? The only place I was targeting was 2065. The reason for this was because we have equal highs. This is a liquidity pool. Price has failed to push above this area. As you can see in previous areas where there has been equal lows, say for example this area here, what has happened? Price hit low, price pushed up, and then what pushed straight through it with bodies closing below it, and then price pushed back up again and then move back down. The way the market moves, and I tell this to my VIP students all the time, price does not want to create clean structure. It usually creates jagged structures. One of the thing that ICT uses is that it's never really clean, because it can't be clean in terms of candles. So you can see this level here, price used 2 wicks in this box, and then what happened? Price came spiked back up and then carried on its way. So it took out the early sellers, the price dropped back down, trapped some sellers in, and then price pushed back up on the sort of higher time frame. But pretty much the same approach was taken with 2065. So price popped into this level, and then I was only focusing on bullish moves to target 2065. If we drop down in the 4-hour time frame, you can potentially see that here, where price is failing to take out prior lows, is pushing higher, it's taking out all of these highs here. Price has popped into this 4-hour fair value gap now, so then a lot of people would have been selling in this area here. But what's the key objective? If you go to the higher time frame, it always provides you where price is likely to go, and then you can start looking at entries on the smaller time frame. So for me, the first objective was 2065. So on a smaller time frame, what did I do? We entered obviously at this candle here. If I sort of mark it up for you guys, we entered right about there, just prior PMI news. The stop loss was around about 44. It's a very tight stop loss, around about 20-30 pips. And then my first target was the first initial high of the day. And again, since I'm expecting 65, I'm expecting this high to get taken out to get to the 65 anyway. So that was take profit 1. We took half on the trade, and then price pushed up to 65. And then gold, being classic gold, just wanted to keep pushing up towards the next high as well. So this sort of leads in to the next week's forecast on what I'm looking for. Before we get into that, just want to quickly mention with the VIP again, I'm likely possibly going to open that next week, see how it goes, so stay tuned for that. And again, there's still free access with our broker if you wish to get, if you don't want to pay the monthly payments, you can get access with our free broker. But going into next week's forecast, what I'll be looking for is this key level to be broken here, and then to then see if we can get some bearish structure for the week. So if we go on the weekly time frame here, and we monitor what's going to be happening in prices now at a weekly swing high level. I'm expecting price to break above 2090, create some sort of bearish structure, and then potentially for the early part of the week, I'm expecting price to push back down and potentially into next week. So the same sort of thing will be happening around about here. You can see where price starts to push down and pushes up. We're going to get the same sort of thing, and for price to push up again. The reason for that is price has collected liquidity at 2065. It's heading up to 2088. I would not sell yet until price is above 2090. It could even touch 2100 key level. So I'm going to be marking that up here. If I put that bang on coordinates at 2100, this will be a key level to watch, where price could potentially tap into to then turn around. We have a decent amount of news events next week. If we look at that down here, that was PMI. We have services PMI on the 5th, and then we have Fed Powell testimony, and then NFP as well. So we have a very heavy week of red folder news, so I'm expecting a lot of volatility next week as well. So just keep it patient, guys. We're going to be looking for sells going into next week, but I'm going to be expecting price to show that it wants to go down, and if the timing's right. It all matters about the timing. There's a reason why I took the buy instead of the sell, because if I go back onto the free channel and where I shared my analysis, you can see up here, before the PMI news, I was looking at this green line and saying, see how price is gravitating to this liquidity level. We could even see this get taken out today, which would be our bullish move complete. That was my analysis. And then price before PMI did not take out this level. So what did I do? I targeted that level with PMI. So that was the top green line here. Price pushed down with PMI release. We then got that volume impulse up towards 2065, and potentially we even got it a lot higher as well. So yeah, I think it's gonna be nice and short. What I'll possibly do is I'll possibly add in NAS 100 and US 100 if you guys are even trading that. This is a pair I've been looking at for quite some time now, and I'm looking for the same sort of thing. Price is now pushed up above all the prior highs. What I'll be expecting to see is potentially a move back down to retest this area here. On the daily time frame, what we're seeing is we've broken up a high. We've created another order block for price to push up. So we'd like to see price to push back down into this potentially daily order block that we have here. I think the only reason why I've got this volume void here is because we have a volume imbalance. Price potentially could come back to this level if and only if price breaks below the midpoint of this order block. So if I go and mark this up with a middle line in here, so I'm not sure if you can see that as clear. Can we make the opacity black perhaps? Okay, yeah, let's just do the back. So you see this black dotted line here. If price breaks below that, this is the mean threshold of this order block. If price pushes below that with a body close, then I'll be expecting bearish moves on US 100. However, if price stays above that, so you still want to be continuing to look for bullish moves on that. And this is the same approach I use with all the other markets. I think another one I wanted to add in, since it was a short weekly forecast, was USDJPY. Again, this is a bullish pair that I'm looking for. I'm expecting on the weekly time frame price to break above 152. So I'm only bullish on this pair. You can see that price last week pushed into this daily order block, rejected, and the same principle applies here. If I go and add the middle line in, where this middle line is, you can see price tapped within the mean threshold of this order block, rejected, and then price pushed back up. If price stays above this, you still want to see price break at least 150.8. This is a key level I'm going to be following. And just a little sneak peek here, price is now tested for our fair value gap, so potentially on Monday we could be seeing bullish moves straight off. Yeah, that's pretty much it on the weekly forecast. It's been Statics. Peace out.